Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Thank you all for tuning in to our Crossroads live broadcast. We've done pretty well. We've got on before 5 o'clock this week so far. So, anyhow, we're going to be back in Romans 5. Again, we're going to be in verse 3. We covered 1 on Monday and 2 yesterday, Tuesday. So, just kind of covering these verse by verse. 3 is very, very interesting because most of us, I'm not going to say all of us don't do it, but most of us don't. There may be some out there that rejoice when they have trouble, but not me.
Most of us do not.
This says, so we know that we're made right in God's sight by faith. We know we have peace with God because of Jesus. We know we're in privilege. We look at years. We stand. We confidently and joyfully look forward to God's glory that we're going to become. We're looking forward to that. We're not there yet, but we're becoming that. So now we can rejoice because of those facts and what's coming. God's glory is coming in Christ, and He gave us His glory in Jesus. We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials. Now, that's hard one. It's very, very hard. These first century Christians, they was tortured, they was beat, they was always having problems. In my study Bible here, it says that Paul explains that in the future what they would become, but until now, they must overcome. And their suffering was the rule rather than exception. Now ours, we live in a country that we don't face. We think we're persecuted by the government. We ain't got a clue to what these folk went through. I know our government's got some crazy stuff. We went through the COVID pandemic. COVID's still out there, and unfortunately, people still getting sick from it, and all of that. I understand that. But when we look at this, so how in the world can I rejoice when I run into a problem or a trial? Well, notice what he says. There's a comma. There's a break there. Now he says, for we know. That's me and you. If we're in God's Word, we know that they help us. When we look at a problem or a trial as a help and not a hindrance, and I'm not saying always do it. I can twist off. Don't think I can't. I'm trying real hard not to. I went to sleep tonight and had a kind of a vision type deal on different things I'd learned back in the day on how to deal with stress, how to overcome stress, keep pushing forward, and continue the mission. That helped me a lot. I had to do that last night. Stuff. I got finished with the men's deal and went home and went through some of those things that I had forgotten. I knew I just forgot and put into practice, and it really helped me. Right. But it says, so when we know that they will help us, not hinder us, develop endurance. Now, endurance is something that we think about as people that can run a long time or just do a lot of things, well, and that they endure all this stuff. They're tough, But endurance, it says that trials help us develop that endurance. In order, if you're going to go run a marathon, you're not just going to get off the couch after eating donuts for 6 years and go run a 5K.
No.
You're probably not going to run 50 feet without huffing and puffing and carrying and going on. Kelly started working out and running and walking more, and I'm proud of her for doing that. She's hung in there, went late at night after revival stuff because she couldn't go. But again, as you can probably tell, you've been doing that how long now?
I've been right at a month.
At a month, so is your endurance getting better?
It's getting better, yeah.
And you had to do it. You kept going. You had to push through. There was days.
Every single day. And there are days I don't want to do it. As my shirt says, chocolate is my love language. I'm having to learn not to like chocolate so much.
Yeah. Not that the little bit's not bad, but she had to do what? She had to look at working out as helping her. When you don't want to do it and your body's screaming no, lay on the couch and eat chocolate and watch TV, it's going to help me get stronger, be better, feel better. And again, it's not all about just looks, about looking better. It's about doing and being better.
For me, it has nothing to do with looks. It's all about me feeling better.
Right. And being able to handle more workload and stuff and as things go. And that's what it is. But you got to train and do that. So when a problem comes and a trial comes, we'll look at it. This is going to help me develop my endurance. It's going to increase my faith. It's going to let me know that after the battle, I'm standing firm. So when you get through this battle and you go to the next one, you'll remember we can look back. We're not supposed to live backwards. We're supposed to live forwards. But we can look back and say, you know what? I remember that battle, that financial battle. God, I didn't think I was going to make it. Thought I was going to lose everything I had. And here I am 2 years later, and I'm still kicking. And those are things, those battles, those trials, those problems, as we endure from the next one, say, that battle lasted 2 years. I'm going to be okay in this one. It may last 5. It may only go on and do that. So, Kelly, what's some things that you use and do to help you to rejoice when you run into a problem or trial, and then to let that help you develop?
Well, a lot of times it's hard for me because I don't like hard things. I'm not going to lie about that. I like the gravy train, but I know that we do have to go through hard things. And the past 3 years especially have taught me how hard things can be, and it has been hard. But I've tried to always keep my focus on knowing that God is walking with me through this. He's going to walk me through it. Is it hard? Yes, it's hard. Are there days I don't want to get out of bed? Yes, there's days I don't want to get out of bed. But still, in all of that, I know that Jesus is with me.
Yes.
And I know He is who I'm serving. And that's who I need to look to get my help. He is where my help comes from. I don't get it from anybody else. And I'm learning to rely solely on Jesus instead of my own self or somebody else or whatever. Jesus is going to help me get through it. It's hard. It's getting harder, it seems, but I still know that God is going to get me through this time.
Amen.
It may not look like I thought it was going to look on the other side of this time, but it's still, He's going to walk me through it.
Amen.
As long as I keep my focus on Him, and as long as I keep getting in His Word, and as long as I keep trying my very best to do what He's asked me to do, and that's all I can do. And like Mike said, some days I want to lay on the couch and eat chocolate.
Oh, yeah. We all get to that. Have a pity party.
Yeah, but now because I do go to the gym later because there's nobody there and I like being there by myself, I start looking forward to that time. I'm starting to look forward to that hour or hour and a half in the evening that I'm, concentrating. I have my earbuds in. People come and go, but I'm still just concentrating and worshiping and thanking the Lord for giving me the courage to step out of my box and to do the things that I need to do for me.
Yes, and that's the thing too, and you got to look back. Okay, so how can I look at the problem of trials as a help and not a hindrance? Well, one, I've got peace with God because of what Jesus. I'm in a place of high and undeserved privilege. I'm standing in that. So as Satan tries to come and tear me down with all these trials and problems, I can know that as this in the study Bible that I have here, it also says that this means for now we'll experience difficulties that will help us grow. We can rejoice in suffering, not because we like the pain or deny the tragedy, but because we know God is using these difficulties to grow our character.
Yes,
and we're going to talk about that on character tomorrow in verse 4. So hang in there. Look at it as a help and not, oh man, poor me. And I'm telling you one thing about exercise, and I'm not an exercise guru. I studied a lot of it. Used to be in great shape. When I was in school, I lifted a lot, was pretty stout. In the military, we ran all the time, got out in National Guard for several years and stuff. And then when I got hurt, I had a horse, most of you know if you know me, but if you don't, I had a horse fall on me on my 40th birthday. So next Thursday will be 15 or 16 years, I'll be 56 next Thursday, and broke my pelvic bone, my back, stuck my ribs and my pelvic bone through my lungs. I had lung issues over it and just broke me up really, really bad. Ripped my bladder loose and had to re-sling that, and it jacked me up on the inside pretty bad. And then I had a pity party, and later I couldn't walk, was in bed for a long time, was in a wheelchair quite a while, walked on a walker for over a year, and physical therapy and all of that. And so, I'm walking, doing not great, but I got fat. I got to weighing almost 300 pounds. And it wasn't nobody's fault. I was eating. A lot of people think I'm lying. But there was some days I would eat 6 boxes of Little Debbie's. I would eat a complete box for breakfast. 10 o'clock, I would eat another box, another thermos of coffee. Go back by, make me another pot of coffee. And I would literally eat honey buns and drink coffee almost constantly in the wintertime. Summertime, I wouldn't do that. Then I wouldn't exercise. We had good feed trucks and had good hands. All the hard. I wasn't doing nothing. Church running. I was really not doing a lot of physical stuff. And I hurt, and I use that for my excuse not to exercise or work out. Well, about 3 years ago, when I was trying to get my boots on, and I literally about blacked out, and I banged my head on the little table that's in front of the couch because my big fat belly cut my air off. And I got up from that, and I was kind of dizzy and lightheaded and had to get my air, and I said, there's a problem here, and that problem lies within me.
Right.
And then when I started that point on, I got up, started walking, started watching what I eat. I went in and literally threw the 2 or 3 boxes of honey buns that was in the cabinet in the trash can. I thought, I'll eat these. I thought, nope, I'm going to start right here.
Right.
And I had to endure a sugar withdrawal that was like crazy. I just could not believe I was so addicted to the sugar and the honey buns. And it was a process. Then I started learning how walking and lifting and doing the exercise I was doing started to help me. Do I still hurt in the mornings when I get up? Absolutely. Do I still have pain? My hip's jacked up a little bit today and kind of slid out of place, and just got to work with that. But now I can breathe, I can put my shoes on, I can go all day, not by 2 o'clock be so exhausted. So again, physical training has value, as Paul says. It does have value for our physical bodies. But this right here is nothing to do with your physical. It has everything to do with your mental and your spiritual side of things. And so if you'll start to look at your problems and trials as a help, because I'm going to read that one more time before we do announcements and go. We can rejoice too when we run into problems, for we know they will help us. So if you look at it as a help and not a hindrance, oh my God, here we go again, and get out the pity party and start crying tears in your beer and all that. Don't do that. It's okay, Lord. I'm trusting you. You've got me, like Kelly said. You're going to walk with me through this, and I'm going to go stronger, bigger, better, and greater than I've ever been despite this battle and this trial and this problem I'm dealing with. So God bless y'all. Hang in there. I want to thank you. Our men had another great men's group last night. Had a lot of guys there, 40-some guys. We had a few straggling there late, but we ate. Appreciate my wife coming and setting the tacos and stuff out and getting all that set up. The guys that cleaned up, we appreciate all of them. We had a good group to hang around, and I guess they got it all clean. I went with a couple of other guys and dealt with some stuff, but I didn't go back in here and check it. But anyhow, thank you guys. Kids in here tonight, our little kids, K through 5th graders, are in here at 6 o'clock. Thank you. And then our junior high and senior high kids will be in here at 7 o'clock. We are feeding them, so you'll have to worry about if you get home from school or you rush around and get them supper before they come to church. We feed them every Wednesday night. So I believe it's breakfast stuff tonight, cereal stuff, biscuits, gravy, stuff like that. I think is what Brother Bob said last night. So we've got that going on tonight. Vans are running. If you need a ride, holler at us. Text us and let us know. Or many of you have Brother Mark's number. Holler at him and we'll get them divided up and get the van routes running and get them picked up. Sunday morning, unless somebody shows up the 28th, the last Sunday of this month. Hard to believe. It seems like August 1st was just the first Sunday was last week, but had JT in here on the 14th. Johnny Rowlett was in here on the 21st. So the plan is right now that could change, but I'll be speaking this Sunday. Praise team be back in, come be back to our regular stuff that we normally do. So that's going on. And our men's group, our guys on our Tuesday night are coming down now. Brother Bob explained to them last night what was going on. I'm going to put it out here for any of them that's listening to remind them. We have a group of men that meet in the hallway between the building and the hallway going to our toddler room, and they pray, do different things. And they've done it for a while. I was outside to do it there. This little prayer group is totally different than that. They don't take prayer requests, who's sick, who's hurt, pray for this, pray for that. They specifically pray for the praise team, for the songs that will be sung. They specifically pray for the speaker, whether it be me, Brother Mark, JT, John, whoever. They started like just specifically pray for the message, then for the people that are sitting there. Not saying those other guys don't, and it's they're going to keep doing that deal out there. These guys are specifically lifting those three things up. The praise team that'll be doing the music to kind of set the tone, and that does kind of set the tone a lot of times for the service. The Holy Spirit uses that. And then the message, and then the people that will be here and there, that hearts be changed for somebody there that don't know Jesus, that this will be the day of salvation for them. That's what that group is doing. It is also open to women, kids, guys. You want to grab your wife and go down. They're going to gather at the altars off to the north side there, and that's where they're going to gather up and pray just right before service starts. Then our praise team will get up there and kick off service. So if you see that down there, that's what that is. But that stemmed out of some of our men realize, hey, we need to get up and just specifically pray for our pastor, for our musicians, our praise team, and then the people that are coming, whatever the issues that they have, specifically just for that. They're not taking prayer requests, prayer for my aunt that's got gout, or not making fun of people that's got gout. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying a lot of times we get into all these things, but specific prayer is specifically for that. The praise team, me, and then the people that come in there and sit down that will hear the message, sing the songs, and that. So that's what's going on. You want to be part of that? When you see them together, feel free to go on down there, take part of that. What else we got? Nothing pretty else. Much the rest of the month is just our regular everyday stuff. If you need us, holler at us. 918-399-5956 is the number. We're going to try to get over to the phone store tomorrow if we can. We never know what's going to pop up and happen. But we're going to try to get over there and get a phone that we can actually, this phone you've got to keep on the charger, so we'll get that done. We can take it if we're out about doing whatever. So we're going to try to get that done tomorrow. So God bless y'all. Remember, it's faith over fear, Christ over crisis, and you can remain calm in the chaos. Again, you need us, holler at us. Best way is text. 918-399-5956 is the church number. So if you need it after hours, if we're not in here, again, the best way is to text us. My number is 405-570-7616. Again, the best way to get me is to text me as well. So God bless you. Have a great, great Wednesday.